exercise 4. Now it says display the employee name and the salary grade for every employee. So we've got a table which has got information about people who work in the company, and we have this grade table. So we're going to need to use both these tables. Now it says we want names of people and the grade they actually are on. Now your instinct here will always be to go, okay, the first thing you should do is there a shared column? Now when we were combining the emp table with the department table, there was this department number column, and that was nice because we could go combine the two tables together on this column. But the problem here, of course, is that we don't have that. There's no shared column between these two tables. So this is an example of a join that isn't being done on equality. In other words, something equals something. We can't do that. What we actually have to do is we actually have to combine two different columns together. We're going to combine Sal with low cell and high cell, 3 columns, because what we need to do is we need to check that salary is in some way compared to these values here. So let's just pick somebody like March, for example. Now we can see that March is on 18,000. So if we wanted to work out what grade March was on, then we would want that salary figure to be compared against the low and the high values until we find the one which it sits between. So March is on grade 1, and the reason that March is on grade 1 is because 18,000 is between these two values. So in other words, Sal has to be greater than low Sal, and Sal has to be less than high Sal. So Sal had to sit between those 2 points, and what we have to do in our relational algebra and SQL is express that concept. So let's go in. We're going to combine the two tables together. So we know we're going to combine emp and we're going to combine grade like that. But our predicate, our condition that we write, is going to look different to what we did before. We want salary to be less than or equal to Sal, and we want Sal to be, sorry, I've said that wrong way around. We want Sal to be greater than or equal to low Sal, and we want Sal to be less than or equal to high Sal. In other words, we want it to be between those 2 points. I'll say that again. We want Sal to be greater than low Sal, and we want Sal to be less than high Sal. But of course it can also be equal to, if you see what I mean. So hopefully that will combine those two tables together. And there's a final little bit here because it actually says, we actually only want particular columns. So we want ename and grade. So that's where we're going to do a little projection on the outside, ename and grade, like that. There we go, those particular columns. So now let's translate that into SQL. So I'm going to come up here, I'm going to close these down. So always start off with select, from and where. First question is always which table or tables we're interested in. We know it's the emp table and the grade table, and this time we actually have to be a little bit more careful about the condition, the predicate we're going to write down. We want the, we're going to use low Sal. We want Sal to be greater than or equal to that, and we want Sal to be less than or equal to high Sal. And there's also a little bit extra here because we want the particular ename and the grade. So we're just going to pop that on here, ename and grade. We're just going to do a projection on the outside. Let's run that. There we are. You can see we've got the particular names of people and the particular grades, just like the question asks us to.